Yes, the floor is yours.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Anita Schuettler. I'm located in Bremen in northern Germany, and I'm a software engineer and have been working at this company, Neuland, where I am for over 15 years. And for more than 10 years, I've programmed on those big e-commerce systems that we build here, custom e-commerce systems for big customers. And about 3.5 years ago, I was able to switch my job without switching companies. And now I'm Neuland's head of IT sustainability. And I'm mostly concerned with green software nowadays, but a bit circular economy topics as well. And last year in summer, we co-founded the Bundesverband Green Software. And since this spring, I'm a co-chair. I'm also an auditor for the Blue Angel for Software. That is a German eco-label. The Blue Angel, Blauer Engel. Maybe you've seen this or heard of it before. I have a part of my presentation where I will introduce the Blauer Engel to you as well. And as probably a lot of you are as well, I'm a champion of the Green Software Foundation. Okay, so first part, introduction of the Bundesverband Green Software. So what we are is basically Germany's Green Software Association, like the Green Software Foundation, but only located within Germany. And we are nevertheless very interested in cooperating with other green software associations across Europe. So this is where the connection to Boavizta comes into play. This is our board. So I have a co-chair, Aydin Mir Mohammadi. I don't know if you know him. He's a very, very active community builder as well, located in Karlsruhe in southern Germany. And there he runs the CO2 challenge and has gotten, I think, 30 to 50 IT companies to reduce their emissions. The challenge is by 40% within 1 year, and they have learned a lot while doing this and actually, reduce their emissions by quite a lot as well in that time already. Philip Kersting, who is our treasurer, he's the one who has done the most audits for the Blue Angel for Software so far. So that's quite a nice trio. And the rest of the board are people who you might not know, apart from Arne Tarara. He's the CEO of Green Coding Solutions in Berlin, who built a lot of the measuring tools that originate from Germany, and who's also the one who founded the EcoCompute. These are our members that we have so far. I think we're at 33 now, or a bit more. Most of them you will not know, but the one that is probably most important for you is Green Coding Solutions in Berlin. Okay, we have a vision statement and a mission statement. The vision is a future where software uses resources responsibly and sparingly. And our mission is to accelerate the application of standards, tools, and best practices for green software in Germany. And we have several things that we do in order to accomplish this. First thing that we want is visibility for the topic. So there are several associations in Germany that, for example, have a working group that deals with sustainability, like the big associations as well, for example, Bitkom or BitMe, so the IT associations for the big corporates or the small and middle-sized companies. And we felt like sustainability for them is always an afterthought, something that comes in handy when there's time and resources, but it's not a first-class citizen. So what we wanted to do by founding this association is make the topic visible all over the country, and not as an afterthought, but as the main purpose of this association. Of course, we do networking, so we have, like you do here in this Boavizta meetup, we have networking meetups every month or every second month, depending on is there Christmas or whatever. And it's to catch up on what's happened and to exchange and to help each other integrate sustainability into the IT companies that are our members. Of course, we do lobbying as well. Means that, for example, we integrate into discussions around policy, or we also lobby for the Blue Angel for software, which I think is the first eco-label for software worldwide, actually. I will go into detail later, but I will say that this label is from the German Environmental Agency, and it's pretty new still. There's not many companies who already have it. And what we do in the Bundesverband is that we push this label. So we have a lot of auditors that are from our members. Our members are some of the first that actually got this label as well. So we gathered the experience ourselves by going through this process, and now we go out into the world and talk about it. So more companies aspire to get this eco label in order to get comparability at some point. We have some working groups as well. One is the webinars and trainings working group. And there we have a lunch and learn webinar every 2 weeks, where we have all kinds of people joining in, and somebody talking about a topic for half an hour during lunchtime, and we record those and put those up on YouTube. And we have a working group, tools and measuring, and I think the coolest thing that they created so far is a landscape of measuring tools. This is a screenshot of this, and I will leave this presentation now and go over here. I think you should still be able to see this, right? No, if there's no, then I will say yes. So landscape.bundesverband-green-software.de. I'll just put this in the chat actually, so you can have a look yourself. This is basically like the CNCF tools landscape that they published, made with the same tool as well, but this is about measuring tools that there are. And some of them are bigger than others. Those are the ones that are in use within the Bundesverband. So tools that we have some experience with, tools that we think are practical in everyday use, and that we can talk about. And it's separated into several categories, from infrastructure all the way down to company level, or down to measuring code, whatever. Artificial intelligence is here as well now. There's a measurement category and an optimization category. And up here you can search, for example, footprint I found as well, but only the model. Maybe that's interesting if that's something different from what was just presented. And if you have a tool that you think is missing in here, you can go up here. There's a small GitHub icon, and this will bring you to the GitHub space of the landscape. And there you can open an issue to integrate another tool into this. And what we're looking for is a public documentation. So yeah, our source is publicly available. This is the most important part. There's other things that have to be provided as well. Must be related to green software, obviously. Must be usable. So no beta status. How to use the tool and the methodology has to be public. Yeah, and then this goes into the tools and measuring working group, and they will then add this to the landscape. And since we started, there's some tools that have already been added, one of them being EasyWord, and I think Francois is here as well. Hello, Francois. Okay. So now this is the wrong one. Where's my presentation? Here it is. Okay. And the working group has just worked on a white paper as well. I think this one will be out in the public soon enough as well. So then we have a working group Academia. There we have several universities that are members in the association, but for free, so they don't pay for being a member. And here the goal is to connect university professors in order to get green software into the university curricula for the IT studies. And so some of them have started already, some haven't, and they get together in this working group in order to define standards, what should be in this curriculum for this or that IT study. Yeah, what's it called? Whatever. I hope you get what I mean. We also have an EU funding proposal that we issued, I think, in September. And I want to show you the working plan that we worked out. So this is an overview. I'll step you through this one by one. So we have working package 1, coordination and project management. This is done by Cyberforum, and Cyberforum is an IT association that is located in Karlsruhe, so where IDIN is active. And there they are running the CO2 challenge as well. So they have some experience with the topic already, and they are pushing the topic there already, which makes them really good for project management in this one as well. Then we have a working package, which is about replication and making everything public afterwards, which is run by Digital Europe mostly, which is an association that is active in all over Europe, and they have a lot of connections for this. They're supported by Matrix Internet from Ireland, and the two of them together are a powerful team to get this out into the public once it's done. Then we have working package 3, development of collaborative business models for supply-driven energy consumption in ICT. So this is about data centers. Here we have two partners, Horizon and Cloud and Heat. Cloud and Heat are a company located in Dresden in Germany, and what they do is, first of all, they support open source tools for data centers. So they have an open source tool called Krake, which is an octopus, basically. And this is a tool to have a virtual data center where you can connect multiple data centers and move workloads depending on, for example, how much renewable energy is available in which location. And Horizon, they're pretty new still as well. They're a joint venture from Thomas Krähen, which is a big server provider, and Hochtief, I think. So this is a company that creates buildings And Horizon then is a company with very sustainably built data center buildings. So they're built from wood, for example, instead of concrete. And and run very sustainably. So this is the idea behind this. Horizon is also the first data center member within the Bundesverband Green Software. And the idea behind this working package is that today, so you have different kind of grid mix at every time. So sometimes there's more coal and gas within the grid. Sometimes it's more renewables. Sometimes even excess renewables, especially here in Germany, where we have no nuclear anymore, but still quite a lot of coal when the sun isn't shining and the wind is blowing. And you already get this situation where at the energy stock market, you have times where you even get paid for consuming energy because there's so much renewables on the grid, and other times where the energy is very expensive. And if you have a dynamic tariff, then you can make use of this because sometimes it's within a couple hours, the difference can be several hundred euros per megawatt. And this is something that a big data center, for example, can profit from, but the customers of the data center can't because there's no business models around this. So the idea of this working package is to, first of all, create the tooling that is necessary so the customers of the data center can access this flexibility. And second, to create business models that also make it attractive to do this. So basically, making it so that compute costs different amounts of money depending on how much renewables are on the grid. Okay, then we have 3 working packages, which are for Bulgaria, Germany, and the Baltics. And these are basically the idea of scaling the CO2 challenge from Karlsruhe up to a whole country. And these will be run by different associations, so IT associations within the respective country. And here the idea is to find companies from the IT sector or that have a lot of IT within them, like finance as well, or insurance or so, and to get them to reduce their IT-related emissions, so green software emissions, not whole life cycle. So this, the first step that you might want to do, basically, and that's easiest to do at the beginning, by whatever is possible. We say 40%. It's might be between 5 and 50 to 60%, depending on what kind of company you have here. And in order to achieve this, they get a free green software coach. And green software coach will actually be a new kind of profession. And those green software coaches, they are educated within the Green Software Hub. And this is working package 7. So we will found a green software hub for all of Europe. And there we'll do community and capacity building, and it will mostly be run by the Bundesverband. So this is a place where the knowledge that is already accumulated within the Bundesverband could also be supported by other associations, will be provided to those people that want to become green software coaches. And the companies that are participating in those work packages 4, 5, and 6, they will get a certain amount of free coaching to begin with as a starting point, so to say. And after that, they have to pay to get more coaching because this is an EU-funded project, and it won't pay for the whole coaching for the companies, who will then save a lot of money as well. So That's why you will just get, I think, 3 days or so to begin with. Okay, so that was that. I'll go on to the, no, 1 second. I'll just ask you if there's any questions regarding this part of the presentation. If there's anything, you can just yeah, speak up or write into the chat, because then I'll go on presenting the Blue Angel for software. I'll wait a sec. Doesn't seem so.
Like just at the beginning, I want to say like congratulations for this great international impact and being like contributing to all the working groups, like you mentioned, with the Cyber Forum initiative. And I wanted to ask, like, are you as well publishing like some public resources, or all that is more available internally for those working groups at Cyber Forum?
So it will all be published, definitely. As for the EU funding proposal, we don't know yet whether we'll get this or not. So it was a lot of work going into, yeah, creating this proposal in the first place, but we have a lot of competition as well for those for that funding. So we'll have to see if we really get it or not. But everything that is created there will also be published, and this is the working package that is around dissemination. So there will be, yeah, conference talks, I think stuff like white papers or so as well. And whatever we create within our association, we happily share. So if there's anything that's of interest for you, just come talk to us, and we're very happy to collaborate and to share what we have, and yeah, go on together. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Okay, so then I go on by introducing the Blue Angel for software eco-label. This one is, yeah, it's an eco-label that's been around for a pretty long time, I think since the 70s. And usually you find this on paper things or on, I don't know, all kinds of things that can be somewhat ecological and are sold within Germany. So I think 2020, this label was created by the German Environmental Association, Umweltbundesamt, this green one, that's what it's called in German. And the first version was only for desktop applications. So there was only one application that got this label, Ocular from KDE. And then I think 2 years ago, it was reworked to be able to, yeah, be applicable to more applications. So whenever you have a Blue Angel on something, then there will also be a very short explanation what this is about. And the one for software, UZ215, is about energy and data efficiency, about being backwards compatible and having guaranteed updates, security updates, and being about ad and tracking free. And the goals of this label are, first of all, to promote transparency. So this is something that I often see as a misconception. So it's not about you have to be this and that energy efficient in order to get this label, because in the beginning you have nothing to compare softwares against each other. So whenever you want to compare one software to the next, somebody will come and say, yeah, but you can't compare this because the features are so different. Of course, this software will have more because it has more features also. So the first step is to create transparency and then over time get to a point where you have so many softwares that have been measured that you can then set a standard for comparability. So basically what happened with the energy charts that you might get on your fridge or so, or on a car as well. Yeah, first make it transparent, and then over time you can set standards. The second goal is to promote a longer use of hardware. I'll come to explain what that means here. And user autonomy and resource efficiency in the end as well. As I said, the scope of application has been increased with the latest version, but it's still limited to software products. So you have to be able to, this is about this, a minimum of 90% of energy consumption has to be measurable. So if you have a software that is so distributed that this can't be guaranteed, then it's excluded. Yeah, you have to be able to measure most of what is going on in the software. And if you say, minimum 90%, if you can't measure the rest, then how do you know you get 90% of the whole consumption? This is something that you will have to debate with your auditor. So if you integrate, for example, I don't know, weather metrics or so, it might be okay, but if there's an AI behind it and you have no idea how to measure this, then it's out. And it has to be installable on a server or on a PC device or on a mobile device or any combination of those three. So you can Dockerize the whole thing and then run it on a system in order to measure it. And there's this this criterion that says the energy that's used for 1 year of use must be less than must not be more than what's used for development, or vice versa, the energy used for development must be less than for 1 year of use. And I think this criterion was first introduced to exclude AI applications. But honestly, that doesn't hold up anymore. And I'm not sure if anyone debated this already, but I think we didn't have an application where this was debatable to begin with. But yeah, the idea was to exclude AI applications. And so the Blue Angel is still further developed, and the auditors that are accredited today, they also contribute to this development. And we all know that there has to be a way to include AI applications of some sort, or AI features within an application, because honestly, AI is now put into most applications, and you have to find a way to deal with this. So the criteria are divided into resource and energy efficiency, potential hardware service life, and user autonomy, and everything has to be checked by an auditor, which has to be accredited by the Umweltbundesamt, the environmental agency. So resource and energy efficiency. The criteria there are minimal system requirements. So what requirements does your physical system have to provide in order for this software to be able to run? Then you have to document the measurement setup, and you have to measure the base load and the idle state. So basically, the software must not be installed on the system, and it has to run for an hour. Then you install the software and run another hour in order to know how much does this occupy the system when nothing is being done. And you measure during use. And here you need at least one standard usage scenario. So you have to define what is the typical use of my software, what will a typical user do there, and this has to be, yeah, defined and run. And measurement during use has to be done 10 to 30 times. And you must not have more than 5% standard deviation in order for this to be valid. And the software has to support energy management, which means that when the software goes into idle mode, the server, for example, or the device that it runs on, has to be able to turn on the energy management idle mode as well, and the software must not prevent that. Potential hardware service life is about backwards compatibility. So you have to prove that your software is able to run on at least 5 years old hardware. And when you do all this measuring on the server cluster that Arne from Green Coding Solutions has in his back office, standing there in Berlin, then this will already be given because the software there and the hardware there is 7 years old or so. So this is a way to comply with this criterion. Then user autonomy. So you have to provide the data formats, make them public. Software transparency. You have to provide the documentation of the software, also your APIs. Software continuity, this is about security updates. The criterion is that you have to guarantee security updates for free for at least 5 years after you stopped supporting the software. Uninstallability, so when someone says, I don't want to use this software anymore, it has to be completely uninstallable, and you have to document how to get rid of this software. In our case, so we did a a Blue Angel certification as well. This was somewhat funny because it's super easy to uninstall, but a bit difficult to install. So we provided an installation documentation as well, even if it wasn't even asked for, because everyone just thought, yeah, you double click somewhere and it's there. Modularity. This is about the idea that you should be able to say, I want to use this feature and that, but I don't need that feature. And if I don't need and don't want to use that feature, it also should not run and use up energy. It has to be ad-free and avoid tracking. This is meant for user tracking mostly. It's okay to track things that are about the vitality of your system, for example. Yeah, and you have to provide the documentation for the software. Okay, and now I would like to quickly show you what the measurement looks like. As I said, we've measured with the Green Metrics tool from Green Coding Solutions. The reason being that this tool was actually built with the Blue Angel in mind. So it does a life cycle of the software from installing, booting, running, all the way back to tearing down everything again. And in those 10 to 30 cycles that you have to measure your software, you always do this full cycle. Build everything up, measure your usage scenario, tear everything down again and again. Okay, this is what the intro site looks like when you go to the Green Metrics site. They have different tools that they provide. EcoCI, for example, is a tool that you can use to measure your CI/CD pipelines. PowerHawk is a tool that runs on your local device and checks how much energy it consumes during development of your softwares. and so on. But we now go to the scenario runner. And here, for example, you can then check what runs of softwares have been done already. And I want to show you some of our own Blue Angel certification. So I'll pick this one because it actually worked out. So we had two scenarios in our software. This software is called Homes. It's actually the only proprietary software that has been certified so far. This is a search software for e-commerce because we are in e-commerce that is built upon open source software and built upon Solar, for example, and OpenSearch. And usually you need experts in order to configure this software. And Homes makes it easier to configure this software because we have a back office where you can just click and enter stuff. And so one of our usage scenarios is configuring the search within the back office. And the other usage scenario that we have is actually searching something within an e-commerce shop. So this is the back office scenario. You get energy metrics, all kinds. Machine energy, here is a lot. Container energy. Yeah, and then you can drill down into everything. Detailed metrics. Here it gives you all those values that then have to be put into your big Excel sheet for the certification as well. I'll put this up again and fetch the time series. And for example, I'll show you what it looks like. So this is everything in details. Again, CPU, then we have disk I/O, temperature, memory usage, network, and so on. And I want to show you what it can look like for CPU, for example. And here you have the ability to zoom in. And when within your usage scenarios, you put in timestamps, which we did, you then can see which of your Docker containers did how much after what happened. For example, here it starting phase back office. Then we have the first scenario. A user configures something like synonyms for the search, for example. And then I'll just drill into here. Here you can see that Homes, so the software, the back end of the software is called. This one goes up. That is Solar here. That does a lot. And here we click on the language. And every time you can see which of those containers does what. And in the end, you have to also provide an overview of which parts of your software consumes how much energy. Restore. I'll zoom into this one. Yes, so basically the same again. But for us, after the measurements, it was really interesting to see who does how much at what point. And this is really something that makes it very transparent if you do this. Okay, so now we have about 15 minutes left. I think I'll stop sharing at this point so we can have a quick chat before it's all over. I think my presentation was done. Let me quickly check if I've missed anything.
Thank
But
you very
yeah,
much, Anita, for the
that's it.
presentation. Perfect.
Okay. Are there any questions or so? So by now we have 6 softwares, I think. that have been awarded the Blue Angel. And I still have a few talks planned for big conferences in the next time to promote this, also to get this into procurement, hopefully, of some bigger companies, because yeah, there's a lot of potential there. For example, if you got this into public procurement, then this would really get things going, and this yeah, what we want to achieve actually.
Thank you for the presentation, Anita. I might have missed it in the presentation. Maybe you've told it already. How can we use the green coding tool that you just showed? Is it open source?
Yeah, it's openly available. So if you want to use Arne's cluster, yeah, he has a few cluster. Those are a few older servers standing around in his behind his desk, basically in Berlin. And whenever you wait a sec, let me show you this again. Screen. So here, scenario runner. You can submit a software. There's the possibility to use the free version, 5 runs per month. So it's not suited for when you want to do the Blue Angel, because you have to measure a lot until you're finally done. But if you just want to try this out, you can use it for free. And there's also documentation how to do this. You have to provide this usage scenario, have to Dockerize your application, and so on. It's all documented, and Arne is super helpful. He even put in some features that we needed during our measurements and so on. So he's very happy to help you and to get you going faster as well. Just contact him. And
Could you
yeah,
please give us the link to the documentation? Like if you send it to the
yeah,
chat?
I have to find it in a sec. Wait a sec. Let me check if I quickly find it. Introduction Green Metrics Tool. This sounds good. So where are we here?
I think Michelina sent the link. Thank you.
Yeah,
Michelina.
awesome. Yeah, and if you want to measure more, there's something like 250 euros for a month of unlimited measurements and so on. Yes. I know that there are exchanges between Bundesverband and some of us at Boavizta around the landscape project. Exactly. There are. Can you think of other ways our two organizations could collaborate? I think this will be part of what we'll talk about at the NGO track in Paris at Green.io. And I'm sure I will make up my mind by then, but I haven't really. So sorry. If you come up with anything, I'm really happy. For example, in the beginning, we were planning to have France in our funding proposal as well. In the end, it didn't come to be, because I felt like there was so many green IT associations in France that each of them thought the other would do something, and then in the end, nobody did anything. So otherwise, France would have been in there as well. But I'm not even sure if that would have been such a good idea, because France is so far ahead of everyone else in Europe in terms of green IT and green software that, yeah, I think it would have been a waste actually. And I think it's better to have countries in there that haven't started yet or have only little green IT knowledge and so on. So because there we can do more good, but I think it would make total sense to work together with you guys because you have such a vibrant ecosystem already that everyone else is still lacking. We're working on it in Germany at least, and I know that in the Netherlands a lot is going on as well. We wanted to have them as well, and this didn't work out either because they had an EU funding proposal before and it didn't go well, so they were somewhat afraid to try again. Yeah. Good. That's how it goes sometimes.
But you mentioned that you will be as well present during I think it will be the 10th of December
Yeah.
during the NGO track, during the Green IO. I think there will be around 20 associations, French and of course international. So I'm very curious about the fruits of those meetings and the workshops. And maybe as well, I just have one question about, you mentioned that for now there are 6 softwares which receive the Blue Angel for Software Eco label. Can we find somewhere online the list of those softwares which are labeled?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
One sec.
So this is the homes as well that you were mentioning, I believe, as well in your presentation, right? Okay.
Yeah, here they are.
Thank you for sharing.
So we have 2 cloud, applications, so to say, Nextcloud and OpenCloud, which is cool because one of them started, Nextcloud, and then OpenCloud followed, and this is just what you want. Yeah, you want similar types of softwares to get certified so you can start comparing them. This is really interesting because I think the usage scenarios that they took are very similar as well. So you have something like sharing files, having a chat, having a video conference, and so on. So then you can start comparing. And this is actually something that Green Coding Solutions is good at as well. So using the Green Metrics tool, for example, they calculated the SCI for both MariaDB and what else was it? Postgres or something, and found out that MariaDB uses like 4 to 5 times as much for the same benchmark or whatever they did there. So that's when it starts to get interesting, I think. We discussed on the collaboration on the landscape this very morning. Oh, nice. We are testing how we can integrate some of the criteria we established in the old Boavizta landscape project with the landscape of Bundesverband Green Software. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, maybe I can just add a
Awesome.
word about it, but well, you know this, of course, Anita, because you were part of the meeting. But we had a similar project at Boavista to establish a landscape of tools, but the project was a bit stale at the moment with the difficulty to provide a great visualization. And what we saw is that the Bundesverband project was more advanced in this visualization. So we are looking together. We are looking for a way to see if we can contribute some of the data that we had in Boavista, to contribute it to the landscape, the Bundesverband landscape, and maybe also we discuss together which kind of criteria we would like to add to enrich the landscape. So all this is open. The landscape, as you saw, the Bundesverband landscape is a GitHub project. And my feeling is that people maintaining it are very open to exchange. So this would be my 2 cents. Do not hesitate to discuss, to collaborate on the issue, on the Bundesverband landscape.
Yeah, honestly, we're really happy to collaborate on whatever you think could be fruitful. because in the end it's about pushing the topic, right? And I always feel like we're stronger together.
Mm.
And I think there could be nice synergies with eFootprint. From what I've understood, the two tools are quite complementary, because the Green Metrics tool is a very low level, and it allows to be very precise on the container level and to describe the usage journeys and have this like a real measurement approach. And it gives, from what I've seen, it gives individual usage journey impact. And then this impact could be multiplied by eFootprint, because eFootprint is very good at like describing the volumes across time, how different usage journeys interact with one another. So maybe in the future there could be like a convergence of the tools. I know I've bookmarked Green Metrics tools, and if someday I'm thinking about extending it footprint to be more precise on the like usage journey measurement, that's probably one of the first places I'm going to check out.
I link Arne's LinkedIn here. Have a chat with him. He's very nerdy about these things, and
Okay,
I'm very happy. I'm very sure he'll be very happy to have a chat with you about
okay, yeah,
this.
nice. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm going to contact him. Thanks.
Yeah. On the measurement, you can trust Arne.
Yeah. He regularly loses me because he's so hardware close, and I'm just several levels above that. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Thanks for having me.